I stood frozen in horror. Panic swept over my body and thoughts flooded my mind. What happened to my mother? Is she okay? What is this son of a bitch doing with her phone? I knew I had to calm down. Something didn't seem right. I picked up the phone and looked at the caller ID. It just said Mum, no number. Fuck, how could I be so stupid? He was just masking his caller ID. Must be to throw me off balance. I'll play along. There must be something I'm missing. What are you doing with my mum's phone? Where is she? Is she okay? A laugh came from the other end. A deep, disgusting laugh. I decided to record the call. Maybe I can play around with the recording and find this caller's real voice. It may not be much, but this asshole knows where I live and probably who my parents are. He starts talking. Danny, 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 the safety of your mother depends on the outcome of our little game. I told you one's life is on the line, but I should have elaborated and said it shouldn't necessarily be the player's life. So, are you ready to play? At this point, I had a thought. How can James see me? I have no cameras connected to the Wi-Fi. My desktop camera is disconnected, and I ripped out my laptop camera when I got the damn thing. Another option would be he broke into my apartment and installed cameras when I was out. But why would he risk getting caught like that? I may have cameras at home and catch him doing it. No, he must be using one of my devices. Doesn't seem like I have a choice, James. Let's fucking play. I braced myself for what he would say. We've all watched those horror movies. These games weren't exactly Mario Kart sort of level. Suddenly, I knew I wanted to throw myself from my apartment for how stupid I'd been. In my hand, I held a single device that had a camera and was connected to my Wi-Fi. My fucking phone. I didn't want to jump to the conclusion that had been the only camera that was being used, so I decided to test it. Before I do anything though, he begins to speak. Well, Danny, I must say, you've got balls. Most guys would have started crying or begged me to stop. This will most certainly be fun. I've had enough of this shit. I started to test my theory. I started googling shit like how to track a phone call and how to find cameras in a house. I wanted to see if he could see my screen, and sure enough, the confirmation came through. Oh Danny, it's cute. You're still trying to fight back. But I can assure you, you will not be able to track this call, and you will not find out how I can see you. Challenge accepted, dickhead. I angle my phone away from my bag and take out a USB dongle. If this asshole is on my Wi-Fi, I'm gonna make him think he's controlling all of my devices. I look for my laptop whilst trying to make as little noise as possible and again angling my phone away from what I'm doing. I find my laptop, boot it up and plug my dongle into it. Yeah, well I'm one tough son of a bitch, so when we're playing, James. And do go over the rules properly, yeah? I'd like to whoop your ass playing by your rules, dipshit. My strategy was to show no fear. In truth, I was terrified. But I knew the instant he smelled fear, he would have total control over me. And I'd fuck up and forget basic shit like I had when this shit show first started. My laptop finished booting up. Excellent. I knew this fucker was using my network somehow. So I decided to hack my own network and see how he got in. Maybe he left something behind. The rules are simple, Danny. You wanted to play judge, jury and executioner. We're going to go through the history of White Knight Justice and see just how much of a hero you really are. Hero, huh? There was a time when I thought I was a hero. Maybe it was when I made that child molester end his own life. I told myself I was a hero because he wouldn't hurt another child. In truth, was I a murderer? Was this my past coming to haunt me? No time to think about this. It isn't just my life on the line here. Everyone I care about is in danger, and there's no time to be selfish. Ha, hero, that's cute, James, but I've always known I was a devil, a necessary evil. But sure, let's take a walk down memory lane. Maybe that will remind you who the fuck you're dealing with. My attempts were bringing up nothing. I managed to break into my own internet many times, but I couldn't find a trace of another device, not a trace of information transfer. Wait, information transfer? Outgoing and incoming traffic? Fuck, I'm stupid. He can see a stream of my screen, which means I have outgoing traffic somewhere, right? I start monitoring my outgoing traffic. Encrypted, of course, but there was still an address. A server that this information was going through. I find the address of the server and decide to do something extremely stupid and might sentence myself to prison or worse. No access to a computer. But I decided that is a small price to pay for the safety of my family. Well, Danni, watch your screen as the images pop up. Let's roll the tape, ladies and gentlemen. What a fucking psycho. I don't pay much attention to the tone of his voice as I set up my botnet for a distributed denial of service attack. My hope is that if I bring down the server for a bit, I'll be able to see where the requests are coming from and track it from there. It is a long shot, but it might work. As I'm doing this, I also stop recording the call and send the recording over to my laptop. All the while, I'm angling my phone away from my laptop, and since he hasn't spoken of it, my theory that the only camera being my phone turns out to be correct. I finally feel like I'm making the right moves in this twisted game of chess. I'm just hoping I'll be the one to say checkmate at the end though. Victim number 1, Brock, 16 years old. You destroyed his relationship and got him kicked out of his home. He spent 3 years on the streets before overdosing on heroin. That wasn't a nice thing to do, Danni. A picture of 16-year-old Brock pops up. He died? Fuck. He was an asshole, but he didn't deserve to die. I went too far. But I couldn't admit it. Not to this psycho. I had to show him that I had no heart. Well, life sucks. Survival of the fittest and all that shit. Maybe he should have been careful with whom he messed with. Another disgusting laugh. James is enjoying himself. Should I be? No time for that right now. I put the phone on loudspeaker and placed it on my desk. Wary that the front camera may be used, I kept it well out of my sight and put an earphone into my left ear. Time to tweak around with his recording and unmodulate his voice. Danni, this isn't going to end up well if you show no remorse. Now the fun begins. Remember his girlfriend? It's confession time, Danni. As if it were alive, my PC opened up Skype and auto-signed in. Fuck, I'm so stupid. Was I really that lazy? A number is entered into it and it starts dialing. What do you want me to do, James? Tell her the online babe was me and Brock wasn't a cheating dickhead? What's that gonna change? My botnet was ready and I started my attack on the server address instantly. I then watched my incoming and outgoing traffic closely. All I needed was a hiccup, something that will lead me to James. In that moment, it was like the entire world grinded to a halt. In that moment, it wouldn't matter to me if the moon was crashing down onto the earth to end all life as we knew it. All that mattered was this stream of information. I could hear the second hand of my watch ticking. There, a clue. Phew, we're starting to lose hope. I start work on it. Did James notice? I'd imagine his connection to my network might have dropped since I saw a request ping, but nothing going back. Was he too busy trying to guilt trip me that he got too cocky and didn't notice? My Skype was still ringing. Was she going to pick up? Hello? A girl's voice. She sounds kinda cute actually. Is James hooking us up? Wrong time for jokes, sir. James speaks to me. Go on, Danny. Answer her. Tell her your name and what you did to Brock. I decide to play along. True, he didn't call me from my mum's number, but that doesn't mean he still can't hurt her. Liz? It's Daniel Kurt. We went to school together with Brock. There was a pause. I can't imagine how awkward this must be for her. I didn't have time to care though. I ran a search on the address, and whilst that was going on, I continued tweaking with the recording. Danny? That loony kid that used to get beaten up all the time? Ah, what a bitch. Hooking us up my ass. I had to fight back the urge to shout and educate her ignorant ass on what autism was. Whatever though, not my concern. At least breaking this news to her won't be as painful to me as I thought. Yeah, that's me, the loony kid. I laughed, and I could swear I heard James laughing too. Asshole. So, listen, don't suppose you remember Brock Leonard? You slept with him at that time. Maybe not the best choice of words. Yeah, I remember him. I heard he died from a drug overdose. Makes me feel horrible breaking up with him. Another pause. Why? Fuck. How do I say this? This is a confession. If she takes this to the police, I'm fucking screwed. Fuck any chance I have of getting away with this. I was 16 though. Does it matter? I read somewhere that crimes committed before 18 aren't dealt with anymore. I was just a kid. Damn it. To hell with this. I needed to stop this madness before he makes me call a victim of an attack I committed after 18. Yeah, well, it's my fault he did this. He made my life shit for when I was at school, so I decided to fight back. He never cheated on you. I made it look like he was. A really long pause. Gives me time to work on this recording. Nothing remotely human yet. Still searching that address. Why is it taking forever? Danny? Her voice was extremely soft. I was expecting something else. An angrier tone would have made more sense. Yeah? I know.